Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has barely been surviving ever since it released a year ago. We have been mocking it basically every single day and using it as an example as to what you can do to lose money. And now the end is near, and it has just been revealed that the events of the game didn't really matter. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I was so disappointed with this game. I absolutely love the Arkhamverse. I loved Kevin Conroy's performance as Batman. They were all really phenomenal games up until this point. KTJL was just a complete mockery of the original games. It really just exists to disrespect those characters' legacies and just the fans in general. And now the end is finally near, and we are finding out that the Arkhamverse Batman is actually still alive. The Batman clone is the one who died, and it really could not look any worse for Rocksteady, because Rocksteady is a shell of the company they once were, and they never at any point in this game's development tried to respect those OG games, and they never tried to make a story that felt like a genuine continuation, but also a respectful end to this version of Batman, because while they have the voice cast from Origins basically on speed dial, because they were the ones who did the recent VR game Arkham Shadows, I don't think that we're ever going to get another Arkhamverse game unless it is a remake. There is, of course, a rumor floating around, take of course it with a grain of salt, even though it is from me, that they are going to be doing an Arkham Asylum remake. That is what my sources have told me. That's the information that I've been saying for months at this point, because they know that a remake is going to sell, that tons of people are nostalgic, tons of people are going to line up to buy it and play it. And it, to me, sounds like they really just do not know how to make good video games anymore. This isn't particularly shocking given that, Rocksteady doesn't have a lot of the people who created those amazing games within their ranks anymore, but they still had that sort of recipe for success that they completely threw away to go in this new modern direction, like with raging feminist Harley Quinn, who shoves her old costume in a locker and says, "No, I've changed since then." You have Greta Thunberg Ivy. You have all of these things that are just really bad. I mean, we're not talking about one moment within this game that was really cringeworthy and screamed modern audience. No, the whole entire thing screams modern audience, and this end is just so depressing and disrespectful, because we had a hunch before the game even launched that this was going to be the direction they took it in, but they actually were supposed to be doing more with this game. They are cutting it at season 4, and they've decided to end the game with like this 2D cutscene, which is super low budget, super low effort. It's because they ran out of money, but there was originally supposed to be one more season, a season 5, where Batman came back and Batman saves the day. It's what they depicted within this 2D cutscene, but they just didn't have the time and they didn't have the money, because this game lost over $200 million, so they had no way to kind of fulfill those original ideas, and then this is the best we could get. And it means that the whole entire game does not matter, because they're all just clones, except for Wonder Woman, which pisses me off beyond belief, because if Wonder Woman is the real version of Wonder Woman, why couldn't it just have been Batman and then the real version of Batman? I've always said it would have been awesome if you are getting close to kind of the end of the game and it's just Superman left, and then the real Batman shows up, and then the real Batman is the one who kind of takes out the clone Superman, and then he has like this very sad death. But it would have been for a point, it would have mattered, though that's not what they did, because they're fucking stupid, and most of the people that work at Rocksteady now are radical leftists, and they're activists, and they don't know how to write good stories and create good games, and now people are mocking Rocksteady, which is so hilarious, because this is what they deserve. They deserve millions and millions of views and millions of people mocking them. Oh no! Anyway, I speak for everyone when I say we will not be playing, they have tried their very best to basically give this game away for free. I mean, just 2 months ago, the deluxe edition, which was previously $100, was on sale for $4. Nobody was buying it. It's not like the player numbers saw a big boost. And I think that this is kind of going to be the end of at least me talking about KTJL, except for using it as an example as to how you can lose money as quickly as possible as a game development studio. But I think that it's just going to be another game that most people are going to forget because nobody even played it in the first place. Yeah, dead game no matter what you say. Finally, the game will shut down in a good way. I'm glad, I guess, that they clarified, but even with this clarification, it would never make me want to go back and play it because you have the gender swapped lesbian Mrs. Freeze, the soy boy Joker, feminist Harley Quinn. You have I believe they called her the ethical communist Zoe Lawton. And then they had Deathstroke, and Deathstroke is really cool. Deathstroke should have been like season 1 DLC. Season 2 should have been Joker, and Season 3 should have been Batman. They could have made a hell of a lot more money that way, but instead, they've kept this game alive for a year, and nobody's playing it. Nobody's liked it. You've also got people saying, I knew he was going to be a clone the entire time. Luther even expresses how the genetics of the heroes are different in the main campaign, but that doesn't make it any better. How convenient. Now that Kevin Conroy is no longer with us, start something new. It is very sad that this is the end of Kevin Conroy's Arkhamverse legacy, is kill the Justice League and share. When he had signed on for it years and years and years ago, they probably explained it to him in a way that was going to be a really good kind of finale and a very good wrap up. And as far as I'm aware, they have a ton of recordings of him for this game that they did not use. Like, they have a vault filled with voice lines that they didn't use, with dialogue that they didn't use. And unfortunately, that means that we're never going to see the light of day for any of that. Like, they did have a DLC recorded for him that we're never going to get now. And that just makes me so sad. I will always remember the Arkhamverse games. I will always replay them. I absolutely love them, but I know for a fact I'm never going to replay Kill the Justice League. It was such a disaster, and it was such a disrespectful way to end his time with the games, and it was just such a slap in the face to fans who have been around supporting this franchise for years and years, and this is the best these people could have come up with. And that's why Rocksteady is going through so many layoffs at this point, major layoffs across Warner Brothers as well. I mean, this game did lose them over $200 million. There's no way they can make that money back. And, well, they deserved all of the backlash and all of the hate that they've gotten over the past year. This is what happens when you work with a company like Sweet Baby Inc., who doesn't care about respecting legacies. They only care about modernizing and political correcting everything. And you see what happens yet again. At this point is Sweet Baby Inc.'s largest failure to date, and I can't say I'm surprised. I'm disappointed that this is the finale that they could have come up with, but it is what it is, and the Rocksteady that exists today isn't the Rocksteady that made those iconic games in the past, and we're never getting that company back. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.